ריבון עולם, והמאיה unto Malka, Melech Malchaya, Ya Ribon Olam, ve'amaya unto Malka, Melech Malchaya, Ya Ribon Olam, ve'amaya unto Malka, Melech Malchaya. Ovad gevurotech v'tzimhaya, Shapir kodama la'chavaya, Yarib kon olam ve'amaya unto Malka, Melech Malchaya. Ovad gevurotech v'tzimhaya, Shapir kodama la'chavaya, Ya Ribon Olam, ve'amaya unto Malka, Melech Malchaya, Ya Ribon Olam, ve'amaya unto Malka, Melech Malchaya.
Shabbat Shalom. Today, the film adaptation of the musical In the Heights is released in UK cinemas. The musical follows individual stories of many different characters who live in the Latino community of Washington Heights. We learn of their life stories and their dreams via a cacophony of catchy musical numbers, which reflect the music you would hear if you walked through 5 blocks of the neighborhood: salsa, merengue, and hip-hop. Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote the show when he was just 19 years old and still a student. In talking about the musical, he said, "They say, write what you know. So I wrote about my neighborhood. Washington Heights in the summer is the loudest, most colorful place on earth. So I wanted you to feel that way when you saw the show." For the characters in the musical, the story is an exploration of what it means to be home. The show opens as Usnavde de la Vega tells his children the story of his home, Washington Heights. But the story he tells is not of the shops or the buildings, but of the people, their tales and their culture, for it is the people who make a place home. We too are led to explore what it means to be home in this week's parasha, when both Moses and Aaron are told they won't make it to the promised land. Moses not entering the land of Israel is punishment for his actions in this week's parasha, where he struck the rock after being commanded by God to talk to it. This tale is very similar to the story we hear in Exodus 17, when Moses is told to strike the rock in order to make water appear. So why now is he being punished for carrying out the same action as he was ordered to do earlier in our Torah? It is thought that the story that happens this week happens 38 years after the first incident with the rock. In that period of time, the former generation who were slaves in Egypt have died, making way for a young, fresh generation born into freedom. These people create a brand new community who need different guidance from their leader. Whereas the generation beforehand may have responded to the strike of a whip, this new generation needs to be directed through words. God changed the command to help Moses adapt his leadership to the community. But Moses, so intent on arriving in the land of Israel, did not recognize the differences in the people, did not see that they were, in fact, Israel. Moses did not get to the promised land because he failed to see that he was already there. For it is not the stones or the land that make a place holy, but the people. It is so easy for us to make the mistake of Moses, to be so fixated on our end goals that we don't look around and appreciate the journey, or so convinced that the grass is greener elsewhere that we fail to see how green the grass is under our own feet. But this is our promised land, and we are already home. Sometimes we will want to leave. Sometimes we will want to return. And sometimes we will believe there is a better thing waiting for us on the other side. But here, where each of us are, surrounded by our virtual community, we are home. So this Kabbalat Shabbat, let us take a moment to feel grateful for this home we have created, a home where we value our stories, our culture, and our heritage, a home that is bigger than bricks and mortar, a home that is truly good. We turn to the words of Matovu on our Shabbat supplements. How good are your tents, O Jacob, and your homes, O Israel.
Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu Ohalecha Yaakov Shamei Avet שמע ותשמח, שמע ותשמח, ציון, ציון, ותגלנה בנות יהודה, ותגלנה בנות יהודה. Adonai Oz לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו. This really is home, the home that comes from being with community, with one another in loving support. And so, having sung our way into Shabbat, let us welcome the Shabbat bride into all of our homes and into our communal life as we light Shabbat candles together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We're on page 121. We're going to sing together L'chad Odi. L'chad Odi likrat ha'ala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chad Odi likrat ha'ala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamu v'zachor b'dibur echad, ishmi'anu elam yuchad. Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'Hashem u'tiferet v'letila. L'chad Odi likrat ha'ala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitorari, hitorari, kiva oren, gumi ori, uri ori, shida beri, kavod Adonai, alayich nigla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom, atar bala, gam b'simcha, u'b'tzola. Toch emunei, am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. In our home, there are those who come with joy in their hearts, and also among us are those who come home with sadness. So for those who on this Shabbat are in mourning, we wish you the traditional words of consolation. Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch sha'ah ha'avelim. May the ever-present God be a source of comfort to you, together with all those who mourn. In tomorrow morning's Torah portion, the Israelites sing a song in joy about the gift of water. So we today have very much enjoyed the gift of water. So for our Shabbat psalm, we're going to sing a song of maybe slightly less joy for the gift of water. We're on page 126 for Psalm 93. Adonai Malach Geut Lavesh. The Creator reigns robed in pride. God is robed in power, clothed in strength. So the world was set firm and cannot be shaken. Your throne was set firm long ago. From eternity you are. Almighty, the floods may storm. The floods may storm aloud. The floods may storm and thunder. But even above the roar of great waves, mighty breakers of the ocean, supreme is the might of the Creator. Mikolot Mayim Rabim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishpareyam, Mikolot Mayim, Mayim Rabim, Adirim, Adirim, Mishpareyam, Adir Bamarom, Yalailai, Adir Bamarom, Yalailai, Adir Bamarom, Adonai, Yalailai, Adir Bamarom, Yalailai, Adir
Edotecha ne'emnu ma'od, leveitcha nava kodesh, Adonai le'orach yamin. We rise together for the Baruch Hu on page 127 and call one another to prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna mishanei itim, umechalif et hazmanim, umesadeh et hakokavim b'mishmoratehem b'rakir kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, b'choshech mipnei or.
Amavir yom umevi laila, umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvahot shemo, Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv haravim. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha ahavta, Torah mitzvot chukim umishpatim otanu limadata, al kein Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach v'na'aloz b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha v'chukotecha le'olam va'ed.
Ki hem chayenu v'orach yameinu, u'vehem nega yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha atatzir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev et amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך. We'll just take a moment for the second paragraph of Shema for ourselves, coming together on page 134. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת להם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם וזרועתם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו, העושה גדולות עד אין חקר, ונפלאות עד אין מספר. וראו בניו גבורתו, שיבחו והודו לשמו, ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם. משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, מלכותך אדוני אלוהינו, ראו בניך על הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליאו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
We turn to page 136, our prayer for peace and protection, something we wish for at all times, but especially when we are together in the evenings. And so we read together on page 136. Source of our life and our sovereign, cause us to lie down in peace and rise again to enjoy life. Spread over us the covering of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Be a shield about us, turning away every enemy, disease, violence, hunger, and sorrow. Remove the temptation that awaits us and the guilt that lies behind us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a God who guards and protects us, a ruler of mercy and compassion. Guard us when we go out and when we come in, to enjoy life and peace both now and forever, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, God, spreading the shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over all the world.
Take a moment just to breathe, to recognize the gift of Shabbat that gives us the opportunity to just have some time for calm and breath. So we're going to sing calmly the words of the Shamru from Exodus and lead straight from that into singing our way into the Amidah and then having some time for silent prayer and thought. We're on page 137. Shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות, את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם. יאי לי 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 לי, 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 יאי לי לי לי
Shabbat I lift up, Ufiagig, Tehilatecha.
Say shalom, bimrona, say shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol ha'olam, yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai lai, yalai lai lai lai.
turn to page 310 and either stay standing or rise together for the Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח אדון הכל, לתקרא ליוצא בראשית, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס תורתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
We turn to page 313 and read together. Therefore, Almighty God, we put our hope in you. Soon let us witness the glory of your power, when the worship of material things shall pass away from the earth, and prejudice and superstition shall at last be cut off, when the world will be set right by the rule of God, and all humanity shall speak out in your name, and all the wicked of the earth shall turn to you. Then all who inhabit this world shall meet in understanding, and shall know that we are all partners in the repairing of your world. For yours alone is the true kingdom, and only the glory of your rule endures forever. So it is written in your Torah, the eternal shall rule forever and ever.
ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We turn together to page 316 and together sanctify the name of God with the words of the Kaddish. As we do so, we join with our member Suzanne Currow and her family as they mourn the death of her mother Enid Rika Melamed. We pray that God will be a source of comfort to all who mourn for her. We stand with all of those who are in the period since the loss of a loved one and join together with those marking the outside, marking the anniversary of the death of someone that they loved. Together with them, we remember Peter Abbey, Susan Angel, Fiona Avner, Yvonne Bakir, Alan Burton, Doris Burton, David Dale, Jonathan Davis, Alexander Gellert, Sheila Gertler, Faye Gold, Lewis Herman, Frederick Hogan, Miriam Isaac, Morris Kay, Sidney Lehman, Hans Lubliner, Maureen Margolis, Lily Matthews, Justin Plain, Gordon Rose, Phyllis Scher, and Maxwell Simon. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. In loving memory, we invite everyone who comes to this Shabbat in mourning to join with me on page 316, leading our community in the Mourners Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chai echon uv'yom echon. Uv'chai d'chol beit Yisrael. B'gala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabba mavarach le'alam alalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitalei v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol bechata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Diameran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol ha'olam v'imru. Amen. We've left ourselves just a little bit of extra time this evening so that I can share with you where we are in terms of the ability of the shul to start reopening. Obviously, we share everyone's disappointment as we enter this 16th month of working this way, of praying together, of being together this way. We share the disappointment that we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to be together in the way that we once were. But as a community, we've been working hard to try to find ways to be together safely and in a way that is compliant with government guidance. So we're delighted that over the course of the last week, we've been able to finally open a new space in the shul. We've been working to extend the area in the sukkah and to cover it with a marquee, which means that we now have an indoor-outdoor space, as they call it, which means that we can start bringing more activities back into the life of the community. So over the course of the next week, the staff team will be approaching different parts of the community to speak about using the space. We have to use it very carefully. It is only one space, and normally the whole building is full for most of the time. And also, obviously, we have neighbours to think about as we are working outside. But our hope is to really begin, even though we can't fully open the building, to start being back together as much as we can. The other great thing that this space allows us to do is to pray together in greater numbers. So we really do encourage you, if you are in a place where you feel comfortable to do so, to sign up for one of our Shabbat morning services. Our numbers are still too great online for us to move Friday night into that area. But certainly on Shabbat mornings, we're able to do pretty substantial services of double the number that we could just a couple of weeks ago. So we really encourage you to look online and to sign up for those services. Tomorrow there'll be a big bang with Rabbi Hannah. I think that's full. But next week we're running 2 services back to back. We are trying to have as much joyful prayer as we can. So at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 26th, there is a choral service with me and Tamara and Katie from our choral repertoire with Julianne on the keyboard. And then at 11 o'clock, I am leading an Imre Finu, which is a guitar-led service. So back-to-back Shachrit next Saturday morning, and really do encourage you to sign up for one of those if you can, to be back with us. Obviously, we recognize that not everyone is feeling safe yet, and that there is still concern about how safe it is to be together and to sing together. So all of those services are going to be hybrid services. All of them are online and as well as in person. And when we can finally return to this wonderful space, you will see that this space is also now a hybrid space, allowing us to pray together online and in person as well. We are committed to making sure that no one is unable to pray with us, whatever their needs and whatever they're feeling about how we are. So please do go online, sign up for one of the services. There are still spaces for next Saturday morning because we've got many more spaces, because the fundamental goal that we've had the whole way through this, when it comes to prayer, is what it says on top of our ark. Ivdu et Adonai b'simcha, to continue whatever is thrown at us, to serve God with joy. And so we are going to sing the words above the ark that you'll also find on your supplement as we prepare for Kiddush. Doesn't sound very nice. Ivdu
את אדוני בשמחה.
בואו לפניו בעננה. עבדו
את אדוני בשמחה. לפניו
כי המלך גדול אדוני. כי המלך גדול אדוני. כי המלך גדול אדוני. כי המלך גדול אדוני. עבדו
את אדוני בשמחה. לפניו
בשמחה. לפניו בעננה. כי המלך גדול אדוני. כי המלך גדול אדוני. כי המלך גדול אדוני. כי המלך גדול אדוני.
We're going to join together with Rabbi Hannah, who forgot that she was doing Kiddush.
I didn't forget I was doing Kiddush. I was just about to cough, and so I thought before I do Kiddush, I would take
We're
a
on
full
page
drink.
452.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קדישנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Amen.
לחיים.
Chaim. We wish you Shabbat Shalom. Please do sign up and come and pray with us in person. And we are going to, as always, unmute you and give you the ability to wish one another Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Well, lovely
Shalom,
to see
everybody.
you. Shabbos.
Lovely to see you all.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom, Michael.
Shabbat